All right, potassium reacts aggressively with water. If you still remember, alkali metal, group 1, react violently with water. If 0.20 grams of potassium are added to 15.0 grams of water, all right, so 0.2 and 15 grams. What is the limiting reagent? What's the mass of potassium hydroxide can be produced in the reaction? This is why we call the group 1 alkali metal. Because when you put in water, you get a base. Alkali means a base. And that's potassium hydroxide. All right. So looks like we have to find limiting reagent first. I don't know which one limiting reagent. I'm going to guess is potassium. Okay, potassium is heavier and start with a smaller amount. But we got to find out for both of them. So use both of this number. Okay. So I'm going to convert grams of potassium to moles of potassium, and moles of potassium to moles of potassium hydroxide, and then moles of potassium hydroxide to grams of potassium hydroxide. I'll do the same thing with water. All right, I'll do the first one. So 1 grams of potassium hydroxide. What we have 0.20 grams of potassium. Convert these to mole. All right, so gram cancel out. You get moles of potassium at the top. Now moles to moles, so 2 to 2 ratio. All right, 2 to 1 to 1 ratio basically. So 1 mole potassium at the bottom, more potassium hydroxide at the top. There's 1 to 1 ratio or 2 to 2, same thing. All right. Lastly, we convert moles of potassium hydroxide to grams of potassium hydroxide using the molar mass, 56.11 grams. Mole cancel out. Do the math here. You should get 0.287, blah, 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 potassium hydroxide. So 2 sig fig to 0, 2 sig figs. So we go round them up, 0.29 grams. Okay. So if we use 0.20 grams of potassium hydroxide, in theory, we should get 0.29 grams of potassium hydroxide in the reaction. All right. Now water. So convert grams of water to moles of water to moles of potassium hydroxide, and more potassium hydroxide to gram potassium hydroxide. All right. Right here. So start with 0.2 grams of water. Using molar mass, convert grams to mole. Now, from water to moles of potassium hydroxide, there are also 1 to 1 ratio. Take a look, 2 and 2 there, 1 to 1 ratio. So mole cancel with moles. Lastly, moles potassium hydroxide to gram potassium hydroxide using molar mass, same thing. All right, do the math there. You should get that number. See that? And 3 sig figs, write them down. Here we go. 46.7. Oh, totally. That's potassium. That's the limiting reagent, right? And the real theoretical yield is that 0.29 grams. All right. All right. So I know it's quite long. It could be complicated, but again, it's come with practice, guys. All right. All right. So that's why we have this. So class activity number 5. I tell you. So I give you the answer key. So phosgene, that's limiting reagent, and the theoretical yield is that mass. Okay, but show me the work. All right, let's go to the next video.